So the Fuse project, the part of it that I was involved in was kind of like a noise music piece that we sort of developed from the noise music and created a scene around that would connect it and give it sort of like a story arc.
Our piece specifically did tie into the Ian Wallace artwork and was inspired by his himself specifically at work and his photographs. And there's a video of him walking in and out of his workspace that kind of inspired our idea of just people just walking and just working and not really doing anything too out of the ordinary.
Heroes in the Workplace was the most story-oriented piece that the cohort created. And there is a main character, a kind of Walter Mitty-like guy who is the first guy in and the last guy out. And
because the idea was that they were a couple that broke up and that he still harbors feelings for her. And so we wanted him to have a sense of innocence and lightness so that the audience would not hate him. So there was a moment where he put his hand or her hand on him and it was a little low, and then it's like, oh, he checks himself so that he has those moments of propriety.
Working with Jeff was really great. It was a really, he was a really open director for collaboration.
Only you can make this world seem right.
Where the audience was placed it wasn't really something I expected, but those kind of events, it's kind of hard to know what you're going to expect. So entering, obviously, in a place where the audience is already placed there, it's kind of interesting because you have to be in character already and then ready to expect people to ask you, oh, are you in this? And that kind of thing. And
I guess what I liked about the audience is, well, to me, how engaged they were. They didn't come and go, a lot of them. A few did, but I thought no one would sit and watch this whole thing.
I've never done kind of site-specific, non-traditional space work, which I was kind of afraid of. It was actually very rewarding because once people started watching, they stayed for the whole thing, which you were engaging to them.
And it was funny when I walked up to the building, I didn't want to go in because I heard all this really great music. I saw a ton of people out on the deck, and I was like, oh, we've done this little school project. Nobody's going to watch it. Probably all this other music will be bleeding into the room. You couldn't hear anything. It's like, what were we doing? And I went up there and I was so scared, and everybody was watching it. You could hear it all really well.
I'd say as an actor doing an installation piece like that, being sincere is really important. You have that moment in the wings where you go, okay, I'm going on now, and you don't have that in an installation piece like that.
Everybody had come together as this team, and there was a lot of fun, and I think we all were pretty proud of what we did, and so it was memorable that every person of that team felt that they contributed equally.
When we were finished, it was a big sense of relief. Gave me a new appreciation for this type of performance in a non-traditional space. It's a whole different field, and it's a very rewarding experience, and I could definitely see myself doing that again.
I felt really proud of the group, and just that we came up with that kind of from just by being inspired by Ian Wallace, and that was what came out of it. It was like a really lovely project to work on, and it was a great group of people, and I was just really proud and excited at what we created in the end.